Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. So today we'll be looking at the problem where when we try to use a modal in Expo, it doesn't work. And I'm on the docs now, and according to the docs, this is how a native modal should look like. But surprisingly, it doesn't work on Android, only iOS. So in the docs, setting up a modal is as simple as adding this property, presentation property, and setting it to modal to the screen, like to the page of your modal. You just have to set this property to it to get a modal like this. But it doesn't work on Android, but it works fine on iOS. So let me show you how it shows up on uh, Android. Yeah, so if you look at the phone screen, you'll see that uh, the modal doesn't show properly as it should. So this is my cards. What I want is when I click a particular card, I want a modal to show, but the modal keeps opening like a stack page. It keeps opening like a page, which shouldn't be. It should open just like we have it here. And if you take a look at my code, I've already set the property, the presentation property to modal for my explore modal, as you can see. And even some little workarounds like using transparent modal. So if you look at my screen, it still doesn't work. It still appears like a stack page, like a full-blown page. So after searching, I saw that the problem affects everyone. And I went through different sites, Reddit, I saw different people complaining, and even up to Expo Router on GitHub, where one of the creators dropped a workaround, but the workaround seemed weird, which it required us to start using JS Stack, React Navigation, and the likes, which I don't want because Expo Router is cool enough, so there's no need for me to change and start using React Navigation. I find Expo Router easier than React Navigation. So even on React Navigation page, there's some solution, but we're not going to be looking at them today, just the package I found. So if you try any of the solution and it works, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so the name of the package we'll be using today for our modal is called bottom sheet, and you'll see it's very easy to use and there are many properties to customize it and control how it appears on our screen. So you'll see them, there are different index, snap points, detached. We'll be looking at the important properties to make our modal appear like a native modal. So let's get right into it. First, we have to install the package. You just need to copy this line of code, both of them, and install. If you are using Expo, you copy this one and install it. I have mine installed already, so you'll see that you just need to some weird reason my tab isn't opening. Alright, interesting. Okay, so you just paste your code here and install. I have mine installed already. So after you're done installing, we'll create our new component. Let's name it uh, my new modal. Yeah, so yeah, so we'll create it. Just change this. Yeah, then we'll be importing the component from the node module, and the name is import bottom sheet from at format column bottom sheet. Yes. Yeah, then let's create the tag. Yeah, so the next thing now is to apply the properties to bottom sheet, and you'll see on the docs there are lots of properties we can use, but we'll just be looking at 3 properties in this tutorial, the important ones to make the modal appear natively on your screen. The first one is a snap point. So this has to control the way the modal will appear on your screen. So you can set it to 20%, 40%, and you can even set it to 2 values. That means, okay, you can see when this modal initially appears, it will appear at this height. Then you can drag it down to another height. So we'll just create a variable. Let's call it snap point. Is an array of numbers or strings, but let's use one string for now and say 50%. You cannot do this, it won't work. You can only use 60 pixels. So this would, you are saying your modal should go as high as 60 pixels of your screen, but we're going to use 50% and just passing the variable here, snap points. Yeah. Then the next property is the function that controls when you change the height of your modal. So you just pass in the onChange function. Let's call it handle modal change and create a function here. Yeah, so we're going to call this function inside the use callback, because we'll be snapping our modal, we'll be dragging it across our screen, and we don't want unnecessary renders. So we'll be using the use callback. Okay. Now fixing the dependency. So what we want to put in this function is when we close our modal, that's when we press our back button, what should happen? So the modal should close. So that's why we are going to pass in index and say, okay, when, sorry, before we pass in the index, let's create our router variable. and use router from Expo router. All right, yes. So we'll say when index is equals to -1, we should close it. We should close our component so router can go back. I'm sure we'll be wondering where index is coming from, but I'll explain it in a second. So let's pass in router as a dependency variable. Yeah, so okay. So now this index is actually a property in bottom sheet, but it is 0 by default, and this index represents the values in this array. So we all know an index starts from 0. So by default, when you open your modal, the modal will be using this index of 0, but you don't need to explicitly pass it as a property because it is 0 by default, except you are using two snap points. So for example, you might say another snap point is 70%. So you'll see all this in a second when I show you how it works on my phone screen. I'll get back to this. So okay, so now I've set up our bottom sheet. Let's just add a text here. Modal text. Yeah, so now let's call our modal in our page. I have my layout already, as you can see on my phone screen. It is this page and my tabs. I have everything set already. So like I explained earlier, when I click my card, I want my modal to pop up. So now I'll just do this again. So now we'll be creating the screen for our modal. We can do that by saying stack dot screen. Now passing the name as well as the options. Passing the name of our modal is my new modal. Then we'll pass in the screen options. So now we don't need to first we don't need to pass in any animation since bottom sheet already has default animation. So we'll set animation to none. Then another property is the header. The header shown. Set it to false because we don't want our header to show. Alright, so now I've set up our modal page. Let's pass in the URL for our card. Like I said earlier, I have my card already. I have my layout set, my tab set. So I just need to pass in the URL for my modal as my new modal. So I'm using flat list here, as you can see, and they represent each of these cards to display all these cards and flag. So I'm passing it to each card. I'm just passing this URL. So let's see how that looks. We start our app. Okay. All right. All right. You see, we have an error, and I believe that error says pan gesture handler must be descendant of gesture handler with view. So I believe that error is coming from our layout. We need to call gesture handler root view in our root layout. So I've called it here already. Yeah, so if you installed the packages correctly, you just copy and paste this code and it should work. So now we'll be wrapping it around our root layout. Gesture handler root view. Wrap it around our root layout. Okay, so now let's see how it looks. Okay, it's not showing up yet, but I believe that will be styling issues. So now let's change our style. Don't mind my inline style. I come from Tailwind background, so I love using inline styles already. So we'll set this one to flex 1 and we'll also have another view here. We'll move our text inside and set it to flex as well. Let's move this one here as well. Let's see now how it shows. Alright, you see we have our modal and it is at 50% of our screen, but there is a little problem. We can't see our background context, like our background screen. So that problem should come from a property we did not set in our modal screen. So okay, this is it. Then we'll show presentation. We'll set it to transparent modal, so we'll be able to see our background screen, that is the cards. So you see now the cards are showing. We can see our modal. So back to the settings for the modal. If you look at it, we have 50%. If we change it to 30, you'll see the modal will snap to 30% of our screen. You see 30%. We can change it as well to 70. And if you click, you see it will take 70% of our screen. But if you look at the screen, it is not going down. Like dragging it is not closing the modal. And we can fix that by passing a property to the bottom sheet called enable pan down to close. Yes, so Now, if we drag it to see, the modal is closing. So you can apply all your styles to the bottom sheets through properties. You can use style sheets. Don't be forced to use inline styles. And now let's apply some styling to our modal. So we can style the container by using a background style prop. Then let's apply border radius of 40. Let's check that out. Okay, you see it's not visible, but there's a little issue. Let's fix it. There should be an overlay, like a dark background covering our former page. That is the card page. Each time we open our modal, there should be a little bit of transparent background over there. So we can fix that by setting the background color of the bottom sheet container, that is the whole container of the bottom sheet. We can set the background color to, I have a color here already. Let's see, yes, this one. So each time we open our card, our modal, we'll see that, yes, that transparent background. So our border radius is showing. You see everything is smooth. We can increase this to 70, drag it down, apply padding to our text container, 4 pixel, 20 pixel. Yeah, so you see, you just need to apply your styling, and if there are some little bit of properties you need, you can check the docs as well. There are a lot of properties for customization over there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know if you need any help with setting up this project in the comment section. Thank you, and until next time, bye.